Today I'm making shadow boxes for Christmas. Today I'm excited to be co-hosting with So Kate for Shadowing Our Love for Christmas playlist. You can find Kate's channel listed in the description box below along with the playlist. All of my projects today are about Christmas shadow boxes. So first I'm taking this vintage book that I had from Christmas. I'm not going to be cutting it up or anything, but I am going to photocopy that page that I just showed you because I do want to use this in my shadow box. I'm also going to be using some of these miniature pieces from Dollar Tree. Now that I have my sheet printed out, I am going to burn around the edges just in small little sections. This is just one of Dollar Tree's box signs, and I'm going to be painting the inside edge of the sign with Fusion paint in evergreen. Now, using some of these miniature pieces from Dollar Tree, they were a little bit too bright and white for this vintage look that I'm going for. So I'm going to use some of Waverly's Antique Wax, and I'm just going to rub it all over those pieces just to make it a little more aged and dirty looking. Those pieces dry, I'm going to be using this little sponge dauber, and I'm going to be using this red Fusion paint. I forget the color of it, but I'm going to paint this Believe sign. I believe this is from Hobby Lobby, and I'm using the little sponge brush because I just want to paint the top of it. I'm not worried about the sides of it. Now I'm going back with Fusion's white. I believe this is Cathedral, and it's kind of a creamy white, and I'm going to be painting the details on this word. I'm going to be using Mod Podge to adhere the book page down to the middle of the sign. Now for the fun embellishing part. I'm going to add this tree. It does hang over a little bit. If you had a wider frame, it would be better, but this works fine. So I did hot glue that to the bottom of the box, and then I added my other embellishments with hot glue as well. I kind of wanted some snow at the bottom, but the snow I think would be too white, so I decided to use some of this grass. I don't really know what it is. I just had it in my craft stash, so I'm going to be adding some of this along the bottom because I think it matches the book page well. I did give that grass a little bit of a haircut as well, and now I'm going to hot glue on the Believe sign. I really love the way this turned out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. The next project I found at a thrift store, and when I purchased it, I didn't know what I was going to do with it, and then I had buyer's remorse thinking, why did I buy that? But this turned out to be the perfect project for it. I got it for $1.51. I'm sure it was handmade. It does look like a Christmas tree. So I am having to go back and glue the bottom piece back on a little bit because it was a bit loose. Now I'm just playing with some of these other little miniatures from Dollar Tree and deciding where exactly I want them to go. And once I've decided where they will go, I'll go back and glue them in. I wanted to add a couple of things to this, so I'm using some of these Dollar Tree bottles that you can find in the craft section. These are some candy cane sticks that I made with polymer clay, so I just put those down in one of them, and then I used some of these little lollipops from Hobby Lobby to glue in the top of this bottle. Now I'm also digging through this little bucket that I have of vintage Christmas ornaments because I think I'll probably use some of these in the shadow box as well. So here's kind of what I have to choose from. So now I'm going back again and deciding where exactly I want to place things, and I'll be using some of the Dollar Tree things and some of the vintage ornaments. I decided to go ahead and change up some of the background. So here I'm using a piece of music, and in a couple of the other places I'm going to be using some scrapbook paper cut to size. And now I'm finally ready to glue everything in place. I decided to put a Christmas tree and Santa's sleigh at the top, and then Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus on that second shelf. Next, I added the toy train and teddy bear, the carolers, and the angels. On the bottom shelf, I added some snow to each section. So what do you think about this shadow box? I think it's pretty cute for an upgraded handmade thrifted piece. My final project today is using one of these triangle boxes from Dollar Tree. I did remove the back, and I am adding some antique wax to the frame. And now I'm going to be adding this piece of scrapbook paper with a glue stick. Once I have the paper trimmed down, I'm going to glue the backing back to the frame. Now I'm going to be using some rub and buff on this old bell that I had. It was painted black, and I'm just going to use some rub and buff on there to make it look a little bit more antique. I'm going to use a piece of jute twine to tie to the bell, and then we're going to hang that from the center of the triangle. I just used hot glue for this. Using one of these laser cut words from Dollar Tree, I'm going to glue that to the frame as well, and I did use some rub and buff on the front of that word. Once I add some greenery to the top, this Christmas Magic shadow box is complete. I would like to invite you to subscribe to my channel, and also if you want to take a look at any of my DIYs, I do have a Buy Me a Coffee link in the description box below. Everything does include shipping. It's just to help me replenish my craft supplies. So if you want to take a look there, be sure and find that in the description box below. Thanks again to Kate for letting me co-host today. Be sure and check out her channel in the description box below, along with the playlist and all the talented creators. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to share the chic. Bye now.